Hey, so right now I'll be watching Ōoku, The Inner Chambers, episode 8. And I don't really have much to say other than the fact that if my hair looks particularly frizzy this episode or the past episodes, it's because I didn't bother to put any products in it. I didn't bother to put any mousse, any hair gel. It's just, I woke up with this hair and I've just kept the hair like it is. I wet it for the first episode today so it could be more tame, but now it's hours later and now it's gotten puffier. But also I felt that in a sense, one could sort of take this as a reference to the show itself, because just how with each episode, more and more things start to unravel, start to unwind, start to become more and more crazy with each passing incident. So does my hair. Because I feel like in almost every video I've done today, my hair gets substantially puffier and puffier. Or maybe it's just the same puffiness as it was like in the first or second video, but regardless, it's puffy and I don't feel like fixing it because I really want to get into the episode. So now into the episode. Oh dear. Oh shit, she left the Ōoku, if that is her liege. Oh wow. I'm surprised she looks as well as she does. Was it from that family that worked so hard in the fields? It must really hurt them starving and they see her well fed and healthy. They had food last year, probably. That's all they had to live off of. Whoa, a bunch of women are working now. I know it's not a good thing because of the males dying off, but still. Is he gonna go buy one or gonna take it off one of their heads? Okay, they're gonna go buy one. Rudy. Okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Sorry. Oh wow. But if she wanted that, unless she means like finer crafted than those, just better quality slightly, but the same ones, same design and everything. Oh man. They probably want to set them up together. Like my son, perchance. Oh my god, they're pimping out their son. Oh, which is why the guy in the first episode just did it for free. Whoa. Oh gods. Oh gods. They just come to become pregnant. Do not leave the Ōoku. Chill with one guard, I mean. True. Yeah, with just 1 week of food. You're just prolonging their inevitable death by feeding them. Will it give them more spirit? Oh, okay, well, that's more realistic, I guess. But I mean, they all look well fed. Wouldn't hurt them to just give some food. Oh god. It's pretty harsh, but unfortunately realistic and quite business savvy. Oh god, it's happening. Oh, he looks very manly right now. Oh. He asked me to bed you, so I shall do so. He requested it. Oh. At least he's upfront about it. They're in the same boat. They both love Arikoto in their own way. Oh shit, she got pregnant. Oh, never mind. Same kid, I guess. Oh my god. So before I forget, she reminds me of Yukichi from Kami-sama Kiss. Oh. Oh. He was probably right. If she gets pregnant, possible. Of course. The substitute. I can see why he would think that. No, what if she likes him? No, yeah. Also? Wow. Only in the eyes of the males. The females still count, but they don't think so. Oh. It's only gonna get worse. Damn. Gotta get with the times. Is he part of the Ōoku now? Mama would love that. Ooh, pretty. Choyo Festival. But an actuality protector from what? Ooh. Can't have a bit of fun. Into a very peacock-looking event? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was like, kind of reminds me of when, in the beginning, where they all dressed in really fine clothing. Ooh. Yeah, you're gonna keel over one day, Kasuga. Yep, see, all that stress, not good. She couldn't let go of the old ways. Now, like, what happens when she's gone, though? Who takes over? Oh, what the fuck? What? It's telling me to myself, it's like, why is it every single time? I have to stop being surprised every single time this happens.
Terry said he has some news from the office of Commissioner Wunsch.
Ugh, what does that human blister want now? Does she intend to demote me even further? Or perhaps she'll transfer me to the swamps of New Jersey so I can patrol the sinkhole where she was spawned.
Or it's possible the announcement has nothing to do with you.
Oh, good thinking, Peralta. You're right. Maybe Madeline wants to inform us all that she's a Chuksan.
A what?
A Chuksan, a Korean toilet ghost. Lives in an outhouse, wraps her hair around your throat, and chokes you to death while you move your bowels.
You know what? I will give you $6,000 if the announcement is she's a Chuksan.
Okay, everyone.
I have some news. Madeline Wunsch is dead.
Say what now? Ding dong, the Wunsch is dead! Bagels! For everyone!
Oh my god, I just heard about Wunsch. She was so young.
For a redwood tree? I don't understand what's going on. Why are you crying?
A person is dead. I feel sad.
That's insane. You don't feel sad when a monster dies in a monster movie. Well, I know just the thing to cheer you up. Wunsch is dead! Bagel! Bagel! Bagel!
And just like that, we bid goodbye to Kasuga. I gotta say, as much as I wanted it to happen, considering the fact that just how mean she was to Arikoto and how she never seemed to allow Lady Chie to be happy by forcing her to be with her man, forcing her to not be able to dress in womanly clothes even when she's alone, just being the one in charge, never really letting Lady Chie be the one in charge, always trying to control her. Sure, in her mind, for the betterment and protection of Lady Chie, but still, she was just suffocating everybody. And now because she refuses to go with the times, she refuses to accept the fact that women should be successors and that at the very least, one day, every so often, that the men who are stuck in the Ōoku have a nice thing to do and celebrate. Just relax and look at the beauty of things. She just would not relent. She hated that. She did not like it. The fact that even her own biological son refused to heed her words, it was just too much. It was too much change. They were asking too much of a very old woman who was very much still stuck in the old ways of doing things. She just would never relinquish her power. Who knows now what's gonna happen next? Who knows who's gonna be the next one in charge? Maybe it's Lady Chie's daughter's wet nurse. Maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it's Arikoto himself. I don't know. I'm curious though because I'm like, well, damn. Now that one of the main antagonists is gone, what's gonna happen next? And also, once again, we're only 2 episodes away. What's gonna happen next? Are we ever gonna get back to the first female shogun that we saw in the first episode or not? I really can't wait to find out. Getting really close to finishing another series. Well, at the very least, you know. Finishing watching another series, but not finishing editing an entire series. That's another story. I don't think I have yet to actually finish editing an entire series. I've finished watching 2, first being Raven of the Inner Palace, and the second one recently being Uncle from Another World. And now, as long as I finish this one and the next 2 episodes, this will be my 3rd series that I finish watching, not editing. And also, not helping with that is the fact that I'm having issues right now with Wondershare Filmora, which I've been using ever since I started this channel, and a little bit in my first channel. I started using it towards the end because I just couldn't edit without seeing the audio lines. I just couldn't. I would see nothing. I would have to literally match it by ear and by looking at the video, trying to match exactly what I said to the audio, even though I couldn't see the lines where it went. So I could try to match it with that. I moved from that onto Wondershare Filmora, and it works really well, and I believe it isn't that expensive. I believe it's about, I want to say $70 a year. So for me, that's good, especially since I don't do anything necessarily fancy with my videos. All I do is just trim it all together, make it look a little bit more cohesive. Hopefully I succeed in doing that for the most part. And on occasion when I watch movies, I just use the masking, where usually if the movie image is behind me and I make myself much smaller and I make myself into a certain image, like if it's the shape of a cat head, I do that. If it's the shape of a star, I do that, while the video itself plays in the background. I'm just like in a small corner and add pictures and anything else. But besides that, I don't need a lot of different kind of things. I don't need super complex transitions. I don't need Photoshop. I don't need any of that extra stuff that others might need. So what I use it for, Wondershare Filmora is great, but already this is the 2nd time in the past 2 to 3 years that I've used it that it's given me issues, and I'm honestly considering looking for an alternative. I've already looked at 2. The first one being Adobe Premiere Pro, but I didn't like it due to the fact that it has like 2 screens and it's just too different and too difficult for me to navigate. And then I tried Premiere Rush. That was much more similar to Wondershare Filmora, but it wasn't necessarily easier to use because I still didn't know how to maneuver it yet. And I would try to, but it's difficult to manage for me, and I'm just so used to Wondershare. I kind of want to keep it if I can, but also I kind of want to try something else, but everything else is pretty much really expensive. And Wondershare, for what it is, it's great, both price-wise and what I use it for. Now that Lady Chie has lain with Gyokue, and the fact that he said, I want you to not like me more than Arikoto, but like me more than Onatsu, I'm like, where does the arrogance come from that you think she might like you more than Arikoto? Like, really? I don't think it's possible, but if by chance it is possible, that really would ruin things for everybody. And also in a very ironic way, because he lives to serve Arikoto. The only reason he slept with Lady Chie was because Arikoto asked him to. But it'd be ironic if the very man he loves, to the point where I believe if he was allowed to, he would be in a relationship with Arikoto, and also if Arikoto was reciprocate of his feelings. Although of course I could just be misseeing things, and he sees him much more as his savior, his almost parent, the one that he would literally die for, but not have a romantic feeling for, but he does have platonic feelings for. The very man that he looks up to more than anyone, the fact that maybe he could get the woman that he loves to love him instead, and then have her bear his child, and then be a happy little family, that would be probably the worst betrayal that Arikoto could face. Because by then, of course, he would lose it. I'm pretty sure almost maybe he would even kill Gyokuye for doing that, even though he's the one who asked him to sleep with her in the first place. I never anticipated something like this could happen. If it were to happen, then it really would be the end of Arikoto. He could not take it anymore. He wouldn't be able to bear it anymore. I'm also curious to know everybody in the Ōoku and the nobles that live outside of the Ōoku, they all seem very well fed. They seem fine. And so do the people in Edo. But my question is, if a lot of these rich nobles, if they were to just maybe each family give a small portion of their food to the starving, then they could make it so there's no more starving. At least that's what I think. Or something. Because like Lady Chia said, well, they thought that she assumed that by feeding the peasants for a week, that would make it so that they'll be saved. And then they were surprised by the fact that, no, she didn't mean that. She just meant that this would placate them enough to not rebel against them. Because they'll be like, oh, they just fed us for a week. We probably shouldn't rebel against them. They're nice. They do care to some extent. But the fact that they make so much food in the Ōoku that they probably don't even eat. Or maybe they do, but clearly some of them eat more than they should. Like they eat a whole lot. And a lot of greed. I know that's a common thing, especially with the rich. But still, it's like, if they just had a little bit of compassion and just fed the peasants a little bit, then maybe they wouldn't be in such a dire state. But of course, they're never going to change their ways. They're never going to do that. Just like Kasuga basically died with her beliefs because she refused to change with the times. These men, of course, will never agree to lessen their food bowls to feed others. Also the fact that one of those 7 men isn't the only one to have a daughter posed as a son. That is both surprising to me, but also in a sense makes somewhat sense. Since, well, one, the fact that his daughter could tell the other one was a girl too, even though they both look like dudes. And the fact that a lot of them just feel shame for the fact that they don't have sons. So they have daughters dressed as sons, but they can never be found out that they're daughters because they're not legitimate heirs. The fact that they have to pretend to be males in order to inherit their family's land, that's just another terrible aspect of their lives. And of this time period. After so many years, they're still refusing to change with the times. I know it's hard. I know that due to the illness, they try to still have hope that maybe the sons and all the males will come back eventually. They'll start being able to grow up and inherit their lands again. And it's terrible that only in this instance can girls actually inherit anything. They really should just change with the times, because as far as the foreseeable future, things are only going to get worse. They're not going to change. Also, a question I always had, and I don't know if I ever voiced the question in previous videos, but the fact that they just bring random guys into the Ōoku. I believe the first one they brought in, who looked like Arikoto, I believe he was 18. The fact that they're just bringing this random, very young man into the Ōoku, when they know the red-faced smallpox spreads through young men, and they have other sort of youngish men in the Ōoku itself, aren't they afraid that they might contaminate the others, and they'll all get sick, and then all the men there are just gonna die? Or the only ones that are gonna be old men? Like, what is the thought process behind it? How do they vet who's healthy and who's not? Any one of them can end up with the disease. It's just a matter of time, but I'm just curious how they managed so far to keep it at bay. And now with 2 episodes left, who knows what's in store for us. This show's definitely different. Now having said all of that, we can't wait to see what happens in the next episode.
This is some sort of scam. If she were dead, we would be hearing the sounds of children singing in the streets.
Maybe she's alive.
Why would Wunsch fake her own death?
The same reason she visits Mexico once a year and sucks the blood from all the goats. For kicks. An email from Madeline Wunsch. Subject line, it's not over.